Listening. I really should like from the start. What a nice girl. I'm caught. I'm caught on my bench. This is such a beautiful bench. I can't. It's too dark, so I guess you can't see it, the entirety of it. But anyway, hello. Trans people are very likely autistic, and I'll tell you why. So, autistic people have actual trouble recognizing facial expressions. Um, and this is true of children as well. Children cannot physically read an adult's facial expressions adequately. Okay. So what a lot of autistic people do is, it's, I think maybe, I've also noticed that men have this problem too, but anyway, I digress. Uh, so they'll have I'm sure there are like review cards, right? Where you have someone like an actor who they've taken pictures of them and they attach a label to the facial expression like scared, surprised, unsure, okay? Like that kind of thing. And they review it because they want to take people's cues, their body language cues, which is a problem that autistic people also have problems with. Facial recognition, facial expression recognition you're gonna go ahead and extend to bodily gestures, body characteristics, body behaviors, body gestures. What's the fucking phrase I'm looking for? You understand what I'm saying? But so they have a problem recognizing facial expressions and therefore also recognizing faces. They also have a problem recognizing body expressions, body gestures, body language. God, that's what I wanted to say. So given those, three factors, okay, we can just go right ahead and apply that to transes, okay? Because trans folks obviously have trouble recognizing not only facial expressions, but they have trouble recognizing if someone's face is male or female. Okay, you guys, these people always, the transes, okay, they always fucking say they have this, just like, their delusion is not just a delusion, there's an explanation for it. I do think a lot of them are in fact deluded and delusional, but like legit shit, everyone. People sometimes cannot recognize someone if they get a haircut or they wear contacts and they normally wear glasses. If they maybe put on really different makeup, even, okay? People in general, I'm saying, have an issue with that. And autistic people, these transes that are autistic, in my opinion, literally cannot tell the difference. And it's easier to hide, it's easier to manipulate an image if it's a singular image. Like if you take a photo of yourself, that's easier to manipulate than how people are seeing you in real life, because you don't fucking know how people are seeing you in real life. All right? But that's another thing that autistic folks prefer over human beings, which is technology. They prefer technology. Kids who are autistic tend to learn better, like interacting with an iPad. And that's because and they interacting with an iPad instead of interacting with like a teacher's aide. Okay? They would rather interact with the technology. All right? And that's why this has become an internet cult. Okay? It's an internet cult that a lot of autistic folks have latched onto in a dangerous way. And it's now our responsibility, but it was always our responsibility. None of these asshats decided it was a good idea until now to give extra care and extra attention to those that need it. Okay? And that includes autistic folks. All right? You need to explain to them, hey, are you having trouble seeing if that's a man or a woman? Can you not recognize that person's sex? Okay? Something that I want y'all to also know is that autistic folks' eyes are often very off. Okay, you can literally just tell by looking at them. Some of them have lazy eyes. Some of them have just slightly off eyes, and that's affecting their vision. Okay, it's affecting their vision. Like, get that in your head. But anyway, we need to explain to them. And they're also fucking obsessed with rules. Okay, they love rules. They want rules badly. They have their own like mental rules. But so typically in society, women wear dresses and men wear pants. Obviously, there's some overlap there, but generally that's true. And it's also generally true that women tend to have longer hair than men. That's not always true, but it's frequently true. And let's also remember here, everyone, how serious a lot of autistic people's sensory issues are. They have really fucking serious sensory issues. I'm wearing not even a real fucking bra right now. This is like a cutoff cami. I have a 32C assholes, and I fucking hate bras. Okay? I will not wear one. I will not wear an underwire bra. Okay? It will not happen. I have some like decent sports bras. Okay? But I fucking hate regular bras. A lot. And I won't wear one. I'm not going to do it. Okay? I'm just saying, and you know what? You guys know what? Women need to fart. Women need to fart. You guys need to fart. I actually said that for real. Start farting. Start getting fucking ugly on purpose. Because I'm fucking ugly, okay? And I've been with the hottest men on the planet. I am not fucking exaggerating. I'm not going to say who they are, but I have been. Because they fucking love me hairy. Real men want a hairy woman. Real men want a woman who is bloody in the vagina once a month. Okay? That is fucking hot. All right? It is pedophilic not to be into that, but I digress. Let's roll it back all the way to autistic people and their sensory issues. And they have a real problem with change. And you're changing a lot during puberty. You're changing a lot physically during puberty. And that's really serious to people. When you fuck up an autistic person's routine, it's a problem. It's a problem. Okay? So, these autistic people, these autistic girls, most likely, cannot stand wearing a bra or would much rather go topless. Would much rather go topless on the beach than wear any swimsuit. Moi. What I meant to say when I said that women should fart is women should start being topless in public. It's 100% legal in the state of Oregon, so come on up. Come on up. It's 100% legal in the state of Oregon anywhere for women to be topless. Also, the reluctance of women being topless is harming women who need to breastfeed their babies in public. Like, if you're fucking dumb as shit and you've never seen breasts and you're like, your breasts are making me uncomfortable in my restaurant, well, man the fuck up and stop working there. Idea. we're getting back to autistic folks. Of course, they have sensory issues when they're going through puberty because their bodies are changing and that makes them uncomfortable. And they would rather get their tits lopped off than just let them grow out naturally because that's too much. I don't know why people don't think of this shit. So yeah, okay. So maybe they don't like, right? I have some of these characteristics in common with autistic folks. All right. I will not wear an underwear bra. I do not shave. I will not do it. You cannot make me do it, and no one fucking can. I hate swimsuits because I'd rather be topless. I'm just saying these sensory issues are serious, and like they're, instead of just saying, hey, women should be allowed to be topless, or hey, let women have floppy braless tits sometimes. It's not that big of a fucking deal. Or if you are a woman, be comfortable in that. It's not that big of a fucking deal. I need some water. They found a loophole and made it a cult. Instead of saying, hey, let's make sure women can be topless in public because men can be topless in public. Hey, let's not lose our shit when a woman breastfeeds in public because if you do that, it makes you less of a man. Hey, why don't you let me not wear makeup and still call me professional? Because I'm not fucking wearing makeup under any circumstances. Not in like a corporate setting. I would for a photo shoot, so hit me up if you feel like it. But anyway, instead of working towards the greater good, they had to find, like, working with other women to try and get them to help them do this. You know, speaking out against men who don't allow women to breastfeed in public. It's not that men don't allow them. It's that they yell at women and then the women listen to them because you're fucking compliant hop babies. Quote me. Anyway, the loophole they made is the trans cult. Instead of just addressing these sexist issues at hand, they were like, okay, I'm actually a guy. I need surgery. We need to make it an industry, and we need to harm others. Not doing that shit. We're not doing that shit anymore. By the way, I told you so. Like, all this shit is finally hitting the fan. Thanks be to God, it took long enough. It took long enough. For people to realize that sterilizing children like this is wrong. That harming children like this is wrong. That giving them fucking gender identities at school and not telling their parents is wrong and it's grooming. Like, we've finally made it here. And I was saying this shit and similar 3 fucking plus years ago. I guess society is just so extremely slow on the uptake, which is pretty fucking embarrassing. Like, instead of identifying your reluctance for something as it being uncomfortable and it being wrong, you were like, oh, this poor kid really wants to dance in this delusion. Let's let him, her, hair, zir, zo, zir. Bullshit. You could have womaned up and been like, nope, you're a woman. Nope, you're a girl. Nope, you're a boy. Nope, you're a man. There's not an exception to that. Because that's just who we are. That's just human nature. This is a cat. She will never be a human. Yawn. autistic people like are being, if you're going along with an autistic person's like trans delusion, you're coddling them. People with this disorder, like I said, need extra help that we're not giving them. So we need to say, no, you know what, Kara, you know what, Steve, you can wear that and it looks good on you, and maybe you're kind of different for wearing that, but our clothes, our commodities, do not determine our sex. And gender is a made-up concept that's creepy and gross and pointless. Just say sex, male or female. There are some people who are intersex, but the new preferred, more specific term for that is DSD/VSD, which stands for delayed sexual development or varied sexual development. Okay? And most people have ambiguous genitalia, but they are in fact men or women. Most of them are women. I'm just going to put that out there. Most of them are women. There's no true intersex, okay? We're not slugs, okay? Slugs have a true intersex, but human beings are sexually dimorphic, and so are cats. There can be DSD cats. I knew one once. She was so fucking cool. I loved her so much. I miss her. But anyway, like, that's abnormal. It's abnormal to be DSD or VSD. Do you see her tongue? Her tongue is out. That's why I think that autistic people are That's why I think that autistic folks are frequently trans, because all of their sensory issues, all of their incompatibility with regular society, all of their obsession with their delusions, obsession with their transness. You know what? Obsession isn't the right word. What's shit? I know the word. Fixation. The fixation on their sexuality, on their gender, okay? That's a delusion. That needs to stop. That needs to be reined the fuck in. Okay? Please. So yeah, a lot of trans folks are autistic, and I heard some info that really disturbed me a while ago, which is that 83% of disabled women have been sexually assaulted by carers. That's like 100%. So if you have someone who is who is autistic, chances are that child has been messed with in more ways than one. And transgenderism is clearly, very frequently, but not all the time, but more often than not, a response to sexual trauma or sexual assault, childhood sexual trauma or childhood sexual assault. Okay? Think about it. It's not hard. Okay, about 14 years ago, I think, maybe 12 to 14 years ago, I saw this documentary about this video game called Second Life. And you could like make an avatar that looked like you, or it didn't have to look like you. It could look completely different. And you would go around and just, it was basically like a meeting people game, but through this, through the internet. Okay. And it featured, I think, 3 different people. Yeah, it featured 3 different people. 2 of them were straight couples, and one of them was just a woman. This woman was so good at this game, and she made such cool stuff in the game that she would fucking make 6 figures just designing clothes in this game and selling them for real money. And she was like happy and single, and she actually like moved her parents in with her, which she wanted to do, and she had a dog. Anyway, it was healthy, it seemed, for her. Okay. But the other 2 straight couples, it was fucked up. And one of them was, so this is like a younger-ish, this is like a mid to late 20s couple, 12 to 14 years ago. So you do the math of what their ages were at the time. That was way before transgenderism blew the fuck up. So this guy was the problem in the relationship. Shocker. And the problem was that he fucking just played Second Life all day long. All day long. And he was engaged to this woman. And yeah, so it was clearly an addiction for him. And then later on in the film, we found out, okay, oh, but this was so creepy. I almost forgot to say the creepiest fucking part was that his Second Life character was a child. I think it might have been a little girl. It doesn't matter. It was a child. And you actually, the game itself did not have, like, when you could design an avatar, they purposely did not have children, but you could make yours small and short enough that it looked like a child. And he eventually admitted the fact that he had been sexually assaulted as a young child. And he was now obsessed with playing this fucking game. Okay? So much so that it took up his whole life, ruined his relationship, and left him the fuck alone. Okay, that's not very surprising because men do that kind of thing all the time, but this was creepy to me. This was really creepy to me and weird and super off-putting. Obviously, they didn't show everything that happened because it was a documentary, but just that whole concept that this guy was fucking in his house alone all day playing an online video game where he pretended to be a child is very weird. All right. And maybe this was some sort of response, some sort of innocent response, but let's be real, it wasn't. Maybe it was some sort of response to this sexual trauma, but I don't really think it's a healthy one, and neither is cutting your breasts off or cutting your arm skin off to make a fucking fake pee-pee, or inverting your penis, or getting the bones in your face shaved down so you can have facial feminization surgery. What's funny is FFS, facial feminization surgery, is also used as for fuck's sake. So, like, think about that. She keeps moving her tail and then I miss it. Yeah. If trans people aren't autistic, we can at least tell that they're very mentally off. Okay? Maybe they're so traumatized by the sexual assault they experienced as a child that they've just not gotten out of that mindset. And it's a very childish thing to think, like, oh, well, if I had only been the other sex, that person wouldn't have assaulted me. And that's absolutely not true. They were going to assault you either way. Sorry. I'm sorry. But like, just admit who you are and embrace it. Okay? You can be a gender nonconforming, you can be a gender defiant woman. You can be a gender nonconforming woman. You can be an ugly woman. You can be an ugly man. You can be an effeminate man. You can be a mannish woman. You can be a weird looking guy. You can be a weird looking gal. Okay, you can be a gay man. You can be a lesbian woman. All right? Those things are good to be, and you should be those things. Okay? But you should not be trans. Trans is not one of the things you should be.